Are you committed to your goals or simply just interested? That's the question that we're going to be going over today. Welcome back to the Coach Harris Show. Thank you so much for taking a listen. In today's episode, I'm going to go over this question that I recently heard and give you a little bit of insight into how it could potentially help you on your way to not just achieving better outcomes in your fitness, your strength, or your life, but becoming a stronger person every single day. All right. So we set a lot of goals for ourselves, right? Around the New Year's, around special moments, when we get the motivation, we create these goals. And while creating goals is important and it can be very helpful, we also often get discouraged when we don't achieve the goals or we don't continue to execute on the practices necessary to work towards those goals. And sometimes we're just kind of left in the dust wondering what's going on. Why aren't we getting there? So I think this question that I started the episode with is important to ask before setting any goal. If you already have the goal, you can ask yourself right now as well. That's 100% okay, and use it going forward. The question is, am I committed to this goal? Am I committed to this daily practice? Or am I just interested in it? What's the difference? If you are interested in achieving an outcome or interested in a daily practice, and that's it, you might be excited by the thought of improving on this aspect, right? You might be a little bit motivated. You might want it really bad. But at the first sign of adversity, at the first sign of a discomfort, at the first sign of pain or challenge or resistance, one that is interested is going to be so much more likely to use our past stories, our negative narratives, and our excuses to find reasons as to why we can't achieve this thing, why we can't keep practicing, why it's better to wait till later, why we're not good enough, right? Somebody who's interested has the motivation up front possibly, but loses it quickly because of anything thrown their way. And that doesn't mean that this person is a lazy person. It doesn't mean that they don't have it in them to achieve something big, not at all. But it means that they might either not be ready for the specific goal, they might not have the right goal for them, or it just might not be thought of in a deep enough way to push through that resistance, okay? Commitment. What does it mean to be committed to the goal? Not just interested, not just kind of into it, but full on committed to this change. Commitment means that you have a metaphorical shield around you, right? A shield that is pushing away all of the temptations to give up, to stop, to completely neglect the work that you have to do at the sign of adversity or discomfort. Being committed means that when things get tough, you can acknowledge the stories that you have told yourself, the negative narratives that you might have had in your past, the excuses that might want to come to surface and be used, but you can push those away and focus on the production that you need to put in place, right? The practice that you need every day, the work that you need to do to get to where you want to go. Committed people get where they need despite the obstacles, despite the excuses that want to come up. Interested people let those things crush their hopes of continuing forward. Okay? So I want to wrap up today. It's a brief episode with a few questions. They're thought-provoking, but more than just thinking about these, I would love for you to take some sort of positive action with them. That's my goal with all these podcasts, with all the content that I put out, is I don't want it to be just a thought creator. I want these messages to be things that allow you to simplify, focus, laser in on what you need to do for you, and take actual action from it. So question number 1, I want you to think back to a time in your life, it could have been recently, it could have been a long time ago, where you fell short on a goal, where you didn't achieve a certain outcome that you set out to, or where you put in place a daily or consistent practice, a habit that you fell off of track with. And I want you to ask yourself, honestly, if in that period you were truly committed at the start, or you were just interested, right? Were you committed? Were you very closely understanding why this was important to you on a deep level, or were you just interested? Okay, so think about that. You can write it down if you'd like to. Question number 2. Conversely, I want you to remember a time where you became stronger and you crushed certain goals, right? You achieved the outcomes and more. You were consistent with a daily or consistent practice for a long period of time. Whatever the thing was that you set out to do, you got it done. Now, I want you to think about that moment. Were you interested or were you actually committed? Were you holding yourself accountable? Were others holding you accountable? What did your environment look like? What did you do to set yourself up for success because you did succeed in that goal? I want you to contrast those two and see what the differences were, all right? Third, and finally for today, I want you to think about your current present moment. What is one specific area in your life, practice that you can implement that by doing so will make the rest of your life substantially better, right? A fitness goal, a family goal, a work goal, whatever it is. What is something that you can start to work on right now that is going to make your life substantially better? I want you to think about that area, think about that specific practice, that specific goal, whatever it is. And I want you to deep dive into if you feel committed or simply interested in that. If you feel more towards the interested side, I challenge you to pick another goal, another practice, or deeper specify the actual thing that you're after until you feel that sense of commitment. It's something that I think is very innate, right? When you feel it, when you have it, you're going to know. When the goal, when the habit, whatever it is, however you phrase it, however you form it, however you word it, whatever you do, is in a way that is so in tune with your emotional drivers and the things that get you excited and inspired for the real long term, you're going to feel committed. You're going to feel that imaginary metaphorical shield that I talked about. You're going to feel a sense of freedom, a sense of comfort, knowing that no matter what comes up into your external world, right? Whatever obstacles, adversity, things that want to get you off of track, you're going to feel like you know you can stay committed to the practice that is needed because you feel truly committed, you feel truly inspired and excited about this goal, about this daily effort, right? And I want you to keep working at it until you find that thing. And it's not going to be a one and done. You're going to have to fine tune, adjust. It'll change over time. But if you are going to pursue anything, it's worth it to make sure that you're committed to it. If you're not truly committed to it, I don't think that is worth pursuing. Okay? So I hope this helps. I hope this episode helps. I want you to take real action from it. If you do, I would love for you to let me know. As always, you can email me, harris@coachedbyharris.com. In the subject line, just put the episode number and or title. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions, what your answers were to the 3 questions above, and what actions you have taken or plan to take from this. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Take care.